We're Nate and Shannon, a nomadic couple that originally met 2 years ago out west. We now live on the road in this vintage Japanese camper van that we gutted and renovated together. Shannon is currently working in San Francisco, and I'm alone in the van exploring the coast of Lake Michigan. I decided to take a short break from editing the wedding films to enjoy one of my favorite pastimes, which is rarely possible in this part of the country. This morning, I'm heading over to the beach. There's going to be a little north wind swell on Lake Michigan on the southern shores of the lake, and I'm kind of excited about it. I really don't know what to expect, but I have surfed Lake Michigan once before. For some reason, just the concept of surfing on the Great Lakes always gets me really stoked. Like, it's just such a novelty idea and it doesn't happen very often, so just keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully I can find somewhere to paddle out. My second ever surf check on Lake Michigan. I do see that there's a little bit of white caps going on out there. There's definitely a little wind swell. On the other side of this jetty, it looks like there's a little bit of shelter from this onshore wind, and I actually noticed a couple of guys in the water, so I just gotta figure out how to get over there. Sometimes I think pumping up that board is more of a workout than actually paddling out. I drove around for a while. I'm out of breath right now. I drove around just kind of trying to figure out this area a little bit, and most of the area is all like private lakefront. There's no public access. Needless to say, it took me a second to kind of figure out how it all works. I realized though that basically you just have to paddle across the inlet here on days like this when the wind is coming from the north like this. So I'm gonna go for it, guys. I'm excited. There's actually a couple of folks out there. Looks like it's pretty fun. I don't know if I'll ever get over that feeling of getting in a freshwater lake to surf. There's no salt. It's not very buoyant, it just feels weird. Well, that ended up being a lot more fun than I expected. I mean, it wasn't like epic or firing by any stretch of the imagination, but there was one particular wave, I think I got it on camera, and it just like went forever. It gave me this rush that I haven't felt since I first started surfing, and I don't know if it's the novelty of just surfing on one of the Great Lakes, or maybe just the fact that there were a bunch of guys out there and they were all just super stoked just to have waves. I don't know, it gets me every time, guys. It was pretty awesome. Overall, this is a pretty great spot just to kind of hang out for the day as well. The temperature is absolutely perfect. I'm thinking I might get back in the water at some point in the next couple hours, but I do have a project that I want to take care of first. I had a inverter shipped to an Amazon locker back in Lansing when I was there quite a few days ago, and I've just been kind of putting this off, but I want to install an inverter on our house battery system. Some of you guys know we have two batteries in here. We have our house battery, which charges while we're driving, basically just piggybacked off of the setup that was already in the camper before we ever got it. And then I also have the Bluetti going. The Bluetti has an inverter built into it, but what I want to do is install an inverter on the house battery as well, so that we can use it if we need to, you know, in a pinch, to pull power from it if we're trying to work on our laptop or something like that. And then also what I want to do is basically be able to run that inverter to charge the Bluetti with the AC adapter that I have for it. So it's a little confusing, kind of a roundabout way of doing it, but it was the most affordable way that I could think of doing this. You know, I looked at maybe doing like DC to DC chargers and putting a whole new lithium battery bank in here, and maybe down the road that's something that we're gonna do. But right now, like, it was a lot cheaper just to get an inverter and to try this out, and I think it's gonna work, assuming that I install everything correctly. Seems like it's working, you know. This at least will be a temporary solution. We were gonna need an inverter anyways if we do decide to upgrade our power system entirely. So this is at least a good starting point here, and you know, I think it actually might be just fine. You know, I'm just plugging the AC charger that we use whenever we have shore power at a campground into the Bluetti, and then I'm running it on the inverter off the other battery. And I think ideally we would just do this when we're driving. If I'm gonna do a 5 or 6 hour drive, just plug this in and let it go, and that would actually charge the Bluetti faster than if we were just parked in direct sunlight all day. The 200 watts of solar charges slower than the AC charger, which charges right around like 220 watts or so. I don't know, just a, you know, maybe just a temporary solution, but it's definitely gonna help boost the amount of power that we can replenish after we use it, especially when I'm working on my computer and stuff late at night, and just another option that we have now. For the last few days, I've kind of just been bopping around the Indiana coast of Lake Michigan, like the southern coast of Lake Michigan, mostly just working at coffee shops, like has been my life for the past couple of weeks here. But we're getting another batch of north wind swell miraculously today, so I am heading back to where I was a couple of days ago to check the surf right now. Kind of excited, you know, it's not going to be amazing or anything, but guys, like, I don't think that they get surf very often in the summer around here. This is probably the last swell that they're going to see until the fall, and while I'm here, I'm all about it. Like, I know I've said that a couple of times here. I'm beyond stoked just to be able to get in the water, get a few waves, and enjoy a beautiful day here. Feel very, very fortunate to be able to do this, and I don't really know when the next time I'm going to be able to surf on Lake Michigan is. Like, every time I get in the water here, I feel like it's never going to happen again.
That was like a real wave! Let's go!
I know it probably sounds like a broken record, but I have a lot of respect for these Great Lakes surfers. I mean, they're out there, conditions are not really that great. It was pretty blown out, just kind of messy and sloppy, but every once in a while, you know, you get a little section that connects and you get a fun little wave, and they're out there just making the most of it, guys. It takes a special kind of optimism to be able to do that, especially when you consider that most of the time when there are waves like this, it's the middle of the winter, and they have like icicles hanging off their heads and stuff, and they're out there just doing everything that they can. And after today, it's gonna get pretty flat on all of the Great Lakes, like it normally is during the summertime. So I'm probably not gonna get to surf again until I'm back on the East Coast in 3 or 4 weeks at the very earliest. Definitely feeling pretty grateful for the 2 little swells that we got here on Lake Michigan. And now I'm gonna start heading up north, or up north as they say, towards the Yoopers, you know. Say hi to the camera.
Hello. What are we talking about?
I don't know, we're just talking about stuff, catching up, but I'm just making dinners. I'm making a chicken Caesar salad for dinner. I have a feeling the next 4, 5, maybe even 6 days are going to be very similar to today. I spent like over 5 hours at the Starbucks, and I'm actually still in the parking lot, and I'm probably just going to keep working here at least for a few more hours. I just really need to focus on editing these wedding films. I'm getting close, but I still have a lot left to do. And as soon as I can get those out of the way, I'll be able to just sort of focus on hanging out a little bit and taking it easy. You know, I'm very grateful that I got a couple of days in the water. Like I said before, you know, I'm very, very happy that I had that chance to kind of take a quick break from staring at the computer screen, but it's now crunch time. I really got to get back into it and just try to do the best that I can here, guys. I'll keep you all posted, though. I'm just trying to keep things in a positive mindset and really just focus on the positives and make the most of the situation. It's all trade-offs, right? Like, without these wedding gigs, without these YouTube videos, I wouldn't be able to enjoy the days that I did get on Lake Michigan the past couple of days, and just being able to go and explore new places and find some really cool free campsites and everything. I'm looking forward to doing that as I make my way up towards the northern part of Michigan over the next couple of weeks. And then I did get some good news yesterday as well. Shannon is going to be joining back with me in a couple of weeks, and it'll only be for about a week or so. She is going to head down to Florida to start the renovation of the house immediately after that, but at least we'll get about a week or so on the road, and I'm sure we'll try to make a couple of videos while we are hanging out and traveling around a little bit. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. You know, but like I said, I gotta focus. It's crunch time, so for the next couple of days, I'm probably not going to be vlogging much. I'm going to put the camera down and just focus on the editing, get as much done as I can, and then move on to the next adventure. I can't thank y'all enough for watching, for following along, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one.